And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Marty's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
The Milo gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it at Auto Club.
Well, that's not the Speedway we're at tonight. Let's go ahead and take care of that. Because here tonight, we're at one of the newest racetracks in the heartland of America. There it is, right there. Iowa Speedway tonight for race number 10, the Overtake iRacing League Cup Series. Welcome in, everybody. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper, and tonight, the 7/8 of a mile that was modeled after Richmond Raceway. Rusty Wallace overseeing a lot of the development of this racetrack, where he had his greatest success in Richmond, Virginia. But here tonight, it's a different ballgame. Drivers gonna have to figure out the mixture between an intermediate and a half-mile oval for this track, seating over 30,000 members and unique setting, multi-tiered recreational vehicle viewing down the backstretch. It's going to be a spectacle here today. $70 million approximately to build this racetrack, and open since 2006. With that, we have a lot to talk about and cover here tonight. First off, let's get the points up on your screen and talk a little bit about how the top 5 has really spread out from GT Hawkins. 41-point deficit here for David Farmer. Hawkins has gone winless in this season, but has kept a string together of top 5 finishes that has put him on the point. And as we approach the reset time here, Hawkins looking like the favorite to go into that as the leader. And we'll take a look here at the Iowa Speedway. Again, 7/8 of a mile and 14-degree banking in the turns, 10 degrees on the front stretch in Newton, Iowa. Opened September 15th back in 06 and has been a venue to the Truck Series, the Xfinity Series quite a few times, with the Cup Series just recently coming in and starting to race here. So these cars not quite familiar with this territory. They've had a limited amount of time on this racetrack to get familiar with how this race will progress. There's a very bumpy turn 1, so you want to enter low. And then the exit of these corners really loose and kind of models right off of Richmond, where that exit wall in turn 2 can sneak up and bite you. So these guys going to go side by side, are going to have to plan their passes accordingly. It's going to be very, very tough to overtake here tonight. Race analysis up on your screen, 175 laps. We have unlimited green-white checkers, and our stage lap will be at lap 60. 40 miles per hour on pit road. And of course, as always, the iRacing fixed setup here in the Overtake iRacing League. But now, setting up to grid, let's take you trackside now and get that up on your screen. Some drivers hitting pit road now. So let's show you your pole sitter here tonight. Well, it's a guy that needs to capitalize on the day. It's going to be David Farmer with a 23.705. He lucks out just by 0.03 of a second over Radburn Shutters. Row number 2 is going to belong to James Silvers with Jonathan Cofield in the 4th spot. 5th position will be Rafael Hubi with Eric Hutton in 6th. Brendan Holder is going to start in 7th with Hawkins in the 8th spot. That's Yusuf Ghali and Michael Kostick rounding out your top 10. Justin Sorrell in the 99 with Matt Grenier in 12th spot. 13th, Sean Kaser. Wes Wiegand will be in the 14th position. Craig Schroeder and Bobby Hall side by side for row number 6, or I apologize, row number 8. Row number 9 belongs to Blake Hensley and John Schwartz. And rounding out your 20-car field here today, it's going to be Cody Anderson and Michael Cole. So up on that pole position here tonight, David Farmer knows he has to get it done, but he's got the GG's 44, who's been strong all season long on the outside. And this fits more into the wheelhouse of some of those guys that were going fairly well at the beginning of the season. Cornerstone Motorsports drivers are going to be up here towards the front to start this off. Nick Mills, I see you in the chat there. I hate it for you as well. I hope you're along for the ride here tonight. We go 175 laps here today from Iowa Speedway. Pace car about to pull off. Let's go live and racing for number 10 of the year. Overtake iRacing League Cup Series is live in Newton. Shutters in the 44. He took away the lead from Farmer right out the gate. Now starting to pull away a little bit. You see that half a second gap back there. So difficult to overtake, and you almost have to do it on lap 1, turn 1. Eric Hutton to the outside, up on the high line for third position, gets around. No, he does not. He was actually trying to pass. I believe that was the 17 of James Silver, so he does get around that before the entrance of 3. Rafael Huey side by side. Teammates back here racing hard. 3 wide here, almost off of turn 2. You got Cornerstone Motorsports all over each other. And peering into the middle, almost 3 wide again. There is the 45 of Yusuf Ghali. It's been kind of a common occurrence all season long where the 45 and the 14 have been racing each other, whether it was a road course or, you know, just intermediate. Even the races that Ghali missed, the 14 had somebody competing with him, and that's part of the reason why I think the 14 has went winless this season. Although, no need to panic if you are a fan of Hawkins. He's still going to be the points leader, and based off of this race right now, picking up 2 positions on a track that's difficult to pass on, I think you're going to see the 14 and the 45 up towards the front here later in this run. So Shutter's starting to check out a little bit there at the start of this race. Since then, though, Farmer reeling them back in a little bit. Got it down 1/10 of a second that time by. They've kind of kept it pretty stagnant, and the lead hasn't grown. Eric Hutton up to 3rd spot now. He's running one of the few drivers that's up on that high line here. Let's take it on board with the 87 and show you how he gets around Iowa. Of course, avoiding that bump in 1 and 2, that's key. A little bit lower entry than the front 2, but here he's going to come into 3 and 4. Watch this high line. He's almost wall riding it here. He's going to make a liar out of me as he goes to the inside, but dives it down low. Multiple lines through the corner, but very difficult to pass. They're all pretty much equal. 14 degrees of banking, no progressive banking doesn't really help these cars turn. And so you can't really find more speed up on the high side. It's kind of a matter of just when do you hit the throttle and did you do it perfectly. Side by side, just behind the 87, Rafael Huby goes to the outside of the 58 of Cofield. He will get a decent run here on the exit. Really close to that exit wall, though. He's going to be able to hold on to the outside, but going to get up there into the bumps. And these guys fast approaching for 3rd on the outside of Hutton. And a car around, I believe that's Michael Cole in the 67. He was on the verge of going a lap down anyway, but loses control coming out of turn 4. And that will bring out our first yellow here on lap number 10. He's already losing. It got down to the bottom of the racetrack, and it just looked like back to the throttle a little too early. Luckily, he didn't really come back up on the racing surface. I think just the back end of the car was up there. Back it up a little bit more and show you. Car just steps out on him. A little early to the throttle. He's trying to get on it. He actually just touches the throttle. The car's already getting sideways. And that'll do it for our first caution of the night. A few cars electing to come down pit road, play this strategy game. Going to get top off with fuel from GT Hawkins, Yusuf Ghali, James Silvers, all coming down. Craig Schroeder as well. So these cars all down in the box. Wes Wigan also coming down in the 89 machine. So these cars going to play the fuel game. See how it checks out for him here. Down and away now for a lot of these guys. No tire stop for the 14. Actually had a 4-tire stop, rather. And James Silver's also taking 4 tires. So these guys looking for a little bit of an advantage on the tires as well. A little surprised to see him take them this early. I know they have 5 sets here in the Cup Series. The problem that I have with that call, these tires probably going to even out. We only have about 10 laps on them, and I think they're going to even out trying to pass these cars. It's just so difficult here tonight that once they get by, maybe 6 or 7 cars get back to close to where they were before they came down pit road, I don't foresee them having that tire advantage to get around and get into the top spots. However, I've been wrong before here on Vspeed. Not the first time I'll be wrong. It won't be the last. So we'll have to wait and see how this plays out with your leader, Radburn Shutters, leading all 10 laps completed under green, and now 12 as he comes around for the 1-to-go signal. While we wait on this 1-to-go signal, take this opportunity to pull up somebody. Let's go ahead and pull up Dave Farmer. Dave Farmer, it's Bradley Cooper in the Vspeed booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Dave, I noticed that this car didn't really kick off like you wanted it to, and the 44 was able to get past you pretty quickly, but you've since kept him in check. This car seems like its long-run speed is there, and once you get comfortable, how difficult is it going to be, though, with the way that you have to pass at this track?
Yeah, I mean, the passing is going to be hard. I will admit that. And the issue is a lot of guys. I don't know if they're thinking about it or not, but I figured out early on that you got to take care of the rear tires here. Those are going to be the way to the win for sure. So, got to be careful entry, got to be careful out. Just make sure you take care of the rear tires.
20 of you out here on this racetrack. We have a caution very early. So a few of you guys are playing strategy in the back. Are you worried about that as well?
No, we can make it from the first lap. We can make it to the stage, so no worries there.
10-4. David Farmer, we'll put you back down and appreciate your time, buddy.
Thank you.
It's FBR Motorsports driver David Farmer. He'll be restarting here on the inside in the second position as they go into turn 1. Let's see if he can overtake and get that pole position back after starting on point to begin this race. Shutters, Farmer, Hoobie, Hutton, and Cofield, the top 5. Say back to go green for the second time today. Remember the stage break at lap 65, if I'm remembering correctly. Lap 60, rather. Look that information up to make sure it was accurate. But here we go. Pace car pulling off for the second time. 44-84 on the front row into the restart zone. Back live and racing at Iowa. Sad Boys for life, he says in the chat. Well, I tell you, Sad Boys hits the pit road, and quite a few of them in the back of this field. 3 wide back here, Caustic. There's Sad Boys in the middle of it. The 14 on the outside. They've raced hard all season. 45 O'Galley's around, and that's going to bring out another yellow. Contact with the 45 and the 8 coming into turn 1. Brings out our second yellow, and this is pretty much going to guarantee these drivers make it to the stage break. But let's go back on the instant replay machine. And you're going to see 3 wide going into turn 1. Houston Golly in the middle. He gets by Hensley, but then he gets alongside Caustic, and I think Caustic maybe just, I don't know if Golly came down. Let's ride on board with the 31 machine and see if we can get a better look at this. Caustic might have came up the racetrack there. One more time on board with the 8 car. Yeah, it might be a combination of both, and we might have to look at it from another angle here. It is tight coming off of turn 4. Yeah, I don't think you could really pin that on either one of those drivers. And unfortunately, they kind of met in the middle. Caustic came up maybe a foot, and Golly comes down 1.5 feet, and they kind of met in the middle there. But both of them getting the damage repaired and gonna get back out onto the racetrack here. Shutters, your leader, the 21 of Hooby, has worked his way up to 2nd spot. Farmer back to 3rd, Hutton 4th, and Brandon Holder in the 5th position. We're gonna take a quick commercial break here as we get ready to re-rack them up here at Iowa Speedway. We'll be back here in Newton, Iowa right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
Gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes
Black.
Zwack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it at Auto Club.
Back here live from the Iowa Speedway in Newton, Iowa. 21 laps into this thing, getting set back to go green. 44 of Shutters, Rafael Hooby onto the front row. Pace car pulls off. Here we go, back live and racing. Green flag is out. And into turn 1, another great start and a jump to the outside by the 87 of Farmer. Creeping up slowly, though, into this top 3, the 87 of Hutton, who was up here a moment ago. With all these restarts, he lost a couple positions and fell back to 4th. He was working on a top 2, and now the 87 down to the bottom in 1 and 2. He's going to peek to the inside of Farmer. Almost had the nose in there. Now he does, all the way to the bottom of the racetrack for the 3rd spot. Pinch down there from Farmer, not allowing him to get the entry that he wants, and this exit's so tough. He's going to have to get to the outside if he wants any chance. Side by side back here with Hawkins on a little bit fresher tires. He clears Brandon Holder for the top 5, so slowly but surely is working his way back up there. Checking in with Yusuf Ghali after that damage. Well, he got most of it repaired here. The front end looks a lot better than it did in the 45. On back onto the hunt here. He had a minute 34 of damage in the box there. And a car off the racetrack. That's John Schwartz. He's going to get it saved, but will he come back up onto the racetrack and total someone? Luckily, everyone able to clear him, and Schwartz falls back to 16. Cody Anderson gets by the 8 of Caustic. He's holding him off there as they go into 1. You have to look around quite a bit here to find some side-by-side racing. There goes Caustic now to the bottom of the racetrack. Puts Anderson back to 12th for the moment being. And he will officially get that pass. James Silvers, who was up towards the front, he's down 7 spots. He's one of those cars that came in and got 4 tires in the first caution at lap 10. Now working his way back into the top 10. He gets by. Now he's trying to pass Sean Kaser for the 9th spot. He will clear him. Side by side for the 3rd spot. 14 down to the bottom of Eric Hutton. Hutton was able to get around the 84 of Farmer, but here comes the fresher tires of GT Hawkins, opens up the door. The 87 of Hutton all the way up the racetrack here, almost gets into he does get into the outside wall. That allows Farmer back around him, and now Hawkins goes to work on Hoobie. And the yellow flag comes out. Not sure who this was. I see Wes Wigan down on the pits, heavy damage, so I would assume it has something to do with the 89 car. Let's go back on the replay and generate what happened. He's all by his lonesome here. He was already deep in this field back in 20th. It looks like the car is probably just going to step out again here in turn 4. He tries to catch it, but overcorrects, slides the apron, and shoots it up into the outside exit wall of turn 4. Let's go on board here with the 89. That's going to do it for the 89 machine. He's got heavy front end damage. He's going to go 3 laps down now. And that will bring out our 3rd caution before the stage break. 0 lead changes though. Common, consistent driver of the 44 has been up front, but he does have fresh tires beside him for this restart. Let's pull up the 44 machine. Cornerstone Motorsports Sauce. Sorry about that, Radburn. I pulled you up into the booth there. Vspeed up here. We seen you lead every single lap. You got fresher tires behind you. Is that going to interfere with anything?
Oh yeah, of course it is. I'm more worried about maybe the new tires versus the old tires guys on this restart, which hopefully it won't bother me too bad. I know GT's on a few lap fresher tires than me, about 12 lap fresher. That's going to have a big deal. He's probably going to be able to run me down pretty quick. But as far as everyone else behind that, just hope that maybe we can go about 15 more laps and then get another caution. I'll join them on the fresh ones, have a leg ahead on them.
It's been difficult to pass, though, and it seems like a good defense here is on the outside. So are you going to choose on the outside here for this restart?
Yeah, I think so. It's more comfortable up there at the moment.
Well, the 44 has been fast. Hopefully, I know it's a teammate, but hopefully you can hold him off and get this stage win, and we'll see what you got for him as we come up on lap 35 for the restart.
Yep, appreciate it, guys.
Cornerstone Motorsports driver Radburn Shutters in the number 44. He'll take another restart from the front position. When we get back to go green, lights go out on the pace car this time by? No, they do not. So we're working on that. Very long caution here, but we're going to wrap around one more time and then get the lights. We'll be coming back to green on lap 36. We're going to take another one of those brief, quick commercial breaks. And we'll be back with you live right after this. You're watching the Overtake iRacing League live on Vspeed. We'll have more right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back here live from Iowa Speedway. Radburn Shutter's going to take the entrance of turn 1 on the point, but he has fresher tires alongside him for the first time today. It looks like somebody might compete with the 44 car, and that's going to be Hawkins on this inside. But here we go, back live and racing. Pace car pulls off. Green flag is out. We're back live at Iowa. Great restart here for the 44 as he takes it into turn 1. Already Shutters starting to lose a little bit of ground. Hawkins gets settled out. They're side by side. Back behind him, 99 is Sorrell into the outside wall. You saw that just off the edge of your screen. Not sure what happened to the 99, but he's got heavy right front damage. He's lucky he didn't break a toe link there after hitting the wall the way he did. Now the 17 has clawed his way back into the top 5. So 2 of the fresh tire cars are up here, 2nd and 4th, as they come around for lap 38. That's the halfway mark for this stage break. The 44 feeling confident here as he gets another lap led. He knew that the 14 12-lap pressure tires was going to be tough to hold off. takes away the bottom line from Hawkins, doesn't allow him to get the nose to the inside, but you can see that drive in a little bit deeper than the 44 can handle. Forces him up the track a little bit there on the entrance of 1. Still another good defense, and the 44 of Shutters is going to lead another time by. Now going to try the outside. Hawkins hits the pedal a little bit sooner. He is able to get the nose in there briefly. Now down to the bottom of the racetrack and carries the momentum. Lead now on lap number 40. Hawkins is going to come by and get his first lap sled after starting in 8th, going all the way to the back of the field. Those fresh tires look like they're paying off. Eric Hutton now dives to the inside of the 17 machine. Hutton came down about 9 laps ago to get fresher tires, so he has even fresher ones than the top 5. Down to the bottom of Silver's for the 4th spot. Just can't complete the pass. Some racing going on back deeper in the field. The 8 and the 42 side by side as well. Cody Anderson trying to pass Michael Kostick. Doesn't work out. Kostick going to carry it into turn 1 with the advantage. Side by side back here with Hensley and Schwartz. Remember, Schwartz went off the racetrack a moment ago. He's since recovered that machine nicely back to the 11th position. Hutton just can't get around the 17. He gets into the side of him, and the 87 goes around. Down the front stretch, another yellow. And the Sad Boys drivers of Eric Hutton and Yusuf Ghali are having a tough time here today. That's going to be our 4th caution. With only 1 lead change here in the 87. Slides it sideways. He gets into the side of the 17 of Silvers. Let's go back with a replay. Take a look at it one more time. These guys have been battling. This is the lap prior. They've been battling for probably 4 laps continuously. And Hutton trying everything he can with those fresher tires. He clawed his way back into the top 5 after a couple restarts. And here we come off of turn 4. And you're just going to get a good shot of it right here. Hutton creeps up the racetrack a little too much. Trying to catch that thing. He's already loose. And unfortunately, it goes sideways and goes south. We're on lap 42, or 43 rather. So remember, Shutters said he was going to bring it down pit road, but it doesn't appear that he's done that. He's going to stay out with Jonathan Cofield. A few other drivers. Blake Hensley coming down now. Craig Schroeder, Sean Kaser, all coming down to get service to their machines. And we'll officially, with the exception of 2 cars, have everyone taking their first sets. So it'll be Shutters and Cofield that haven't taken that. And, I mean, really, they have no reason to. They've maintained the top 3. Might as well save those tires for a rainy day, because nobody can get around you, and you can stay up here in the top 5. Save those tires for the stage break, and maybe have that extra set for the end. Well, this gives us an opportunity. We're going to bring up the driver of the number 15 machine into the broadcast booth. Matt Grenier, you got a copy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, Matt, I tell you, it was kind of a rocky start to this race. Unusual amount of cautions for the first stage. Usually we have one and we're done. We go all the way to the stage break. But right now, Matt, what's the general consensus with how the tires and the passing are on this racetrack?
The track feels like ice. At least for me, it does. I think it feels like that for a lot of guys. It's slick on entry and slick on exit. I think everyone's just trying to keep the car under them.
Well, we've seen the guys self-spinning coming out of turn 4, but it looked like that contact there on lap 43 was actually a case of somebody trying to catch it. Have you had any experience with a pass gone wrong yet?
No, not yet. I'm just kind of playing it cool for the first half of this race. With the amount of cautions we've had so far, maybe attrition will work in my favor, and we'll see where we end up towards the end of the race here.
All right, Matt, we appreciate your time. Just outside the top 10. Let's see if you can go get them.
Thanks, guys.
Flex Motorsports driver, the 15, Matt Grenier, going to restart in the 11th position. Lights are still on the pace car, so that gives us another opportunity here to pay some bills. Would like to thank everybody for helping us hit the milestone here on Vspeed. We hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, part of the top 10% of all channels to ever exist. So we would like to thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you very, very much. And outside of that, we're going to take another quick commercial break here live on Vspeed. You're watching the Overtake iRacing League live from Iowa. Back right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing.
Back live from Iowa. The 14 of Hawkins going to restart on the outside, gets a great jump, and into turn 1 he goes. 2 Cornerstone Motorsports driver teammates just behind him there with Silvers and Shutters. Side by side just behind Silvers, the 44 of Shutters is under fire from the 58 at Cofield. Both those cars are actually on older tires, and now Yusuf Ghali, who went 3 wide a moment ago, he's going to do it again. Takes it to the outside and the entrance of 3. Can he complete this pass on Cofield and Shutters get a 2 for 1? He will, and the fresh tires prevail. Up to 3rd now for the 45. And another yellow flag. It looks like Rafael Hubi may be the cause of this one. He's down pit road now. So let's take an instant replay and try to figure out what happened to Hubi. He came down pit road all by himself. Craig Schroeder was in. Racing going on back here between Hutton and these guys. Maybe Hutton involved. He's back to 17th. Pay close attention to this. And yes, it was Hutton in the 87 car. Back it up one more time here as he comes into turn 1. The struggles continue for the 87 team. Now you see the bumps upsetting the car. Just a matter of getting loose again. Doesn't hit anything. He does bring out the second yellow for that team, and you know, it's been on ice. You heard it earlier when we talked to the 15 of Grenier that this car just felt like it was driving on an ice pond, and it hasn't gotten any better for some of these guys. Even the most talented drivers in this league have struggled here today. And it seems like passing and overtaking are almost impossible with the way this car is handling. But this gives us another opportunity to pull a driver up into the Vspeed booth. Yusuf Ghali, it's Bradley Cooper in the Vspeed booth. You got a copy?
I gotcha.
Yusuf, you've clawed your way back up into this top three. You took tires on that first stop, or that first caution, rather. You've had a little bit of an advantage here, but the guys in front of you are a little bit closer than on the tires than the guys that you had to overtake to get here. What's it going to take to get around these top two?
I think a good restart's probably the biggest part of it, because I think the stage is lap 60, so we're only going to have maybe 2 laps to get around them. So if I could just get a good restart, get around the 17 into 1, I think running the top like I've been running it, I think I might have a chance of getting around the 14. And I also think they have a little bit fresher tires than me, so I don't know.
So looking at the stint, 44 laps for both Silvers and Hawkins. You're at 37, so you have the tire advantage. It's not by much, but it is there.
Oh, okay. I thought a lot of guys came in recently, so.
Yeah, if you want to hire me to be up on the box, man, anytime, you just let me know. I'll step down and we'll put Alec up here and he'll run the show.
Can we get Alec here on Wednesdays? Like,
we've been trying. He's all over the place with school, man.
Oh yeah, well he's got summer coming up, so let's see how that is.
I appreciate your time, Yusuf Ghali. Ritz, I guess, is the official team name, but Sad Boys Driver, they're rooting for you out there in the chat. So we thank you and good luck, buddy.
Thank you. Hopefully I'm talking to you in like an hour or so.
Ritz Racing gonna take the inside here on this restart. The 14, the 40, or the 14, the 17 up front. They clawed their way up. They actually took tires on the first caution, and then it was Yusuf Ghali that came down after that caution that he was involved in to get fresh tires. So the first big incident, I would say, of the day was the 45 and the 8, but since then it's been pretty smooth sailing, and you know, he's been able to work his way back up front. Jonathan Cofield, Radburn Shutters, the only 2 cars that are out here on this racetrack on the same set of tires they began this race with. I realistically can't guess that these 2 would have anything for the top 3. But what I'm really questioning is, did they have anything for Brandon Holder, John Schwartz? These guys all, 20 lap pressure tires. Can they hold them off here before we hit that stage break? We're only going to have 2 laps to decide this as they'll come across the line on lap 60. It'll freeze the top 10. So we'll have to wait and see. Doubling back up now. Pace car is going to pull off this time by. And the 7/8 of a mile, we're going to do that 2 times to figure out our stage winner. Hawkins, Silvers, Cofield, Ghali, and Holder, the top 5, as we get set back to go green flag racing. This is a great opportunity to let you know, experience what you've been missing, feel everything on the racetrack. You can use our link in the description for Butt Kicker. They're a proud supporter of Vspeed, and we would like to thank them and thank you if you use our link to help support our channel. But here goes the green flag to the shootout of the stage break. Will we finish it under green, or will we have another caution into turn 1 for Hawkins? Here's Cofield on board with him. He's on the outside for second position. Impressive moves there by the 58, but it's going to be 3 wide now with Yusuf Ghali on the outside. Hawkins holding on to the lead. The 58, the 45 touch the wall. Silvers holds on. White flag in the air for the stage break. Hawkins looking like he's going to get it done here as they come off of turn 4. It's a side-by-side battle. Cofield chops the nose, but it's going to be Ghali across the line for 3rd. Silvers back to 4th. And the stage winner GT Hawkins in the number 14 with that strategy call. Clawed his way back through this field, and he's able to get it back on point. It's not a race win, but it's just as important. He still has a lot of miles left to do. How about it there for the 14 machine? I'm not a big strategist here at this racetrack, but I would venture and bet to say that everybody's going to come down pit road and equalize these tires. Savage in the chat, go GT, we appreciate it. And he appreciates it. I know the support here for the 14 team just as big as Hutton and those guys, the Sad Boys, coming in here, so everyone does come down pit road. Here we go. 4 tires and topping off with Sunoco race fuel. No reason to gamble here with 2. There goes the 45 to his stall. The 14 who started back at 8th. They both hit their positions. There's Holder as well. Coming on around here for Silvers. He's going to hit his. And it looks like the 84 Farmer, who had fallen out of the top 10 there, misses his stall entirely in the 84. Goes back out onto the racetrack. He must have forgot that he started up front here and misses his stall entirely. Not exactly sure what the deal was there. He's just trying to get a lap led, maybe. I'm 99% certain that he's going to want to come back down pit road because he didn't get any fuel there. I mean, you might as well stay out, lead a lap, and then come down. But here with this strategy, I'm not really sure what the deal is here. Anderson stays out as well. These guys, I mean, this is not going to work out. It's just, I mean, topping off the fuel, I don't foresee this working out well for either one of these guys if they stay out. The tires have been so important. The 14 has proven that, and everyone behind them on 4 fresh tires. This is probably not going to pan out well. We'll have to wait and see. They are teammates. They will work together, but controlling both these lanes, I don't think it's going to much matter. Somebody's going to take them 3 wide. We'll have to wait and see if the 84 does decide to bring it down. It doesn't look like he's going to. So he'll stay out. 42 stays out as well. It's just, this is a gamble here in the first stage of this race. And, you know, you got enough tire sets. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Long pace laps here at Iowa. We've done it 5 times today, and it does take a while to caution around this place. And Rafael Hubi looking to get back on one of the laps back. There'll be 5 down after this wave. So maybe the 84 purposely brought it down pit road to allow that 21 to get back on the lead lap. I'm not entirely sure on the strategy there. Or, well, allow him a lap back. But here we go, doubling back up. The 21 going to take that wave around. We'll get set back to go racing for the 6th time today from Iowa. Gonna go back green on lap 66. David Farmer, Cody Anderson, GT Hawkins, Jason Dowling, and Jonathan Bofield. 4 fresh tires behind this entire field of the 84 and the 42 who have stayed out. Fuel only for Anderson. Farmer going to hit the loud pedal. Hopefully no tire spin here on this restart. Pace car out of the way. Here we go with the countdown. Back live and racing from Iowa. Already Anderson getting crowded here. He has Yusuf Ghali and Hawkins both by inside and outside. That car just not going to hold on here in this probably 30 lap old tires. He's going to have his hands full into the wall there. And now Cofield to the inside for fourth. Almost some contact there with Sorrell. Anderson just trying to hold on here, and he's got his work cut out for him. Now Silver's to the inside. The car starts to settle out. He does get a decent enough run on the outside. He'll maintain the top five. Lots of racing going on back here. You got the 31 of Hensley on the bottom, the 94 of Bobby Hall Jr., Michael Kostick also on the prowl of the 87 of Eric Hutton. Trying to work their way through here. So Farmer's been able to hold on for a little bit. Anderson falls back to fifth. Here's Ghali and Hawkins right behind him. These two slowly creeping up to the pole sitter. Ghali gets a little loose in 1 and 2. It's going to allow a big run from the 14 of Hawkins as he gets pressed up on the back bumper. These cars hit the wall. And a yellow flag is out. Eric Hutton around again. Looks like Blake Hensley involved as well. Let's get back on the instant replay and find out what happened to these two. We got synchronized spinning. The 99's around. The 31 gets down into the 87. Back that up a little bit more. So the 99 starts to get loose. There's Hensley just behind him. And the 94, Bobby Hall Jr., nowhere to go. He gets the worst end of this. That brings out our 6th caution of the night, 7th caution if you include the stage break. These cars coming down pit road to get some of that damage repaired. Heavy damage on the 94. 87 finally got damage after this spin, but not really his fault this time around. And Blake Hensley as well, going to come down and get service to his machine, and that holds on another moment for the 84 Farmer. Yusuf Ghali on the prowl. Hawkins, these guys with fresher tires trying to work their way up there. Farmer, again, did not take fuel, so he will have to pit a little bit sooner than these guys. Probably in conservation mode right now. As you can see, the RPMs completely bottom out. He's saving as much as he can to try to even this fuel run out. Inevitably, he will have to come down pit road before the rest of this field. Looks like Cody Anderson as well has stayed out. He did come in and top off with fuel, so he's in a little bit better boat than Farmer right now. But again, we'll have to see how this all pans out here from Iowa. going to take another quick commercial break here, live on Vspeed, the Overtake iRacing League Cup Series, rather. We'll be back live on Vspeed right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back live, the Overtake iRacing League Cup Series at Iowa. Doubling back up, getting ready to go back green. A few cars having a troubling night. Wes Wigan, Rafael Hubi, both having problems. Blake Hensley, Eric Hutton struggling here today. But here today in Iowa, it's been a fun one. I'm excited to get back green for the remainder of this race. Here comes Farmer and Golly to set him back off into turn one. Outside, Yusuf Ghali trying to make a pass for the lead. He takes it up high. He has the run now on Farmer. Almost gets into the door, and across the line, Ghali's going to take it away. Side by side, just behind him as well, Hawkins and Cofield. First and second, third and fourth. Trying to find a position. Hawkins almost clears Cofield, as Ghali does, and all the way up to the outside for the 14 car. Trying to pass for the 10th position. He's clawed his way back to the top 10 several times tonight. Just a matter of, does that car get away from him again? They had some problems side by side in front of him. 42 of Cody Anderson briefly side by side with James Silvers there. On board with Shutters, who led the vast majority of the beginning of this race. He fell back to 5th for the stage break. Back to 7th here behind his teammate, Cornerstone Motorsports driver James Silvers, trying to overtake the 42 of Cody Anderson. They go side by side again, closes the door a little bit there. The 17 to Silvers takes away the line from Shutters. Almost gets a run on Anderson. It's going to go back into turn one now with a dive by the 17 for 5th. the battle up here for second position. Hawkins able to get around Farmer. Remember, Farmer hasn't taken tires since lap, I believe lap 62, I think is when he came down. No, he actually, no, so he didn't take tires there. My stint's messed up. He would have taken him somewhere around lap 35. He's on very old tires out here, but he's still up into the top 3. Unfortunately, though, these two in front have brand new tires comparatively. Only 22 laps on the stint. So the top 4 have split away, and James Silvers is 3 seconds back from the fourth place driver, Jonathan Cofield. Advern Shutter's just behind him, and then a little bit of side-by-side action back here with Anderson again as they come off of turn 4. There goes John Schwartz to the inside, the 48 car trying to make some magic and crack his way into the top 5. He's had an up and down day as well, but now 10 places up from where he began this race back in 18th. Schwartz on the move, and Anderson gets loose there. He's gonna lock it down, maybe. No yellow. Another car sideways. That was Michael Cole, and that does bring out the yellow. Still made out of ice here. You can see Anderson, he just wiggles all the way through 3 and 4. It looked like he tried to turn in. Instead of hitting the 48 of Schwartz, who was to his inside, he's able to maintain. Let's take it from a flip camera here. You see that thing already loose as he entered the corner on the brakes. Pretty good job not coming back down into traffic. Then Sorrell, I think, got into the back of Michael Cole. I think that's what happened. No, that's the 56, rather. But he gets loose on his own as well. So very slippery racetrack here today. Here comes the entire field down pit road on lap 89. Farmer does elect to hit his stall this time around. Be interested to see who decides to take forward tires and who doesn't. .45 down and away. Tires pretty much across the board for all these drivers. Yusuf Ghali going to win the battle off of pit road. John Schwartz, Cody Anderson electing to stay out. And I don't think this is going to work out. Anderson needs to come down pit road. He will. John Schwartz, it's Bradley Cooper in the Vspeed booth. You got a copy?
Got a copy.
Well, John, you got 28 laps on this stint. You'll be one of the very few cars that have that many laps, and actually the only car here as the entire field pit. Do you feel confident enough, though, that you can maintain this top spot?
Well, I'd love to tell you that I could, but I have absolutely 0% confidence that I can. So to all the people watching the stream, this should be pretty entertaining at the restart as I get flooded probably 3 wide, maybe 4 for the lead here.
Well, they're comparing it to a skating rink out here in the chat, and I can agree this thing just looks unpredictably loose. How tough has it been personally for you to get around this place tonight?
Honestly, I'd say predictably loose. It's really just been making sure you don't really have any wheel on corner exit when you start putting down the power, since that's when the wheels are really going to start to spin up a lot. So, yeah, just try to avoid the bumps on the high side of 1 and 2, and try to smooth out that throttle on corner exit. I think it'll be fine. Definitely a bit scary, but yeah, we'll see if we can manage. If we can just keep the car in one piece during this run, I think we'll be okay.
Well, John, you're on the point here for this restart on lap number 93. Good luck out there, and maybe we'll get to talk to you post-race.
Thanks.
It's John Schwartz, the number 48 machine, Ritz Racing driver with Eric Hutton and Yusuf Ghali. Get set back to go green. We're going to have John Schwartz, Yusuf Ghali, GT Hawkins, David Farmer, and Jonathan Cofield for your top 5. A lot of comers and goers here, some strategists, some guys that are willing to gamble. Track position has been so important, but everyone that's gambled here today, it's not paid off. Whether it was staying out or coming in early, it's just been a shuffle back and forth, and nobody's really been able to have any kind of consistency here in this race. Your stage winner, Hawkins, back here in the 3rd, 4th position. 2nd row here on this restart. He has the pole sitter to his outside. There's 2 more cars that, they found their way up front several times here. But with all the different strategies, they haven't been able to keep it. So we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. Pace car getting ready to pull off. 2 teammates along for the ride as we come out of turn 4 for this restart. Green flag up in the air. We're back live and racing from Iowa. Quick work there. The 48 falls back to the 3rd spot. Now has Farmer on the inside. Schwartz falls back to 4th. He now has the 58 of Cofield peeking to the inside as they go into 1 and 2. Side by side here for the 4th position. Cofield not able to clear Schwartz. This time he will finally get by him, with the top 3 starting to spread away from the rest of this field already. Here's Hawkins and Ghali up front. Oh, really loose moment there for the 45. As he came out of turn 4, he loses the nose, has to catch it, and that allowed the 14 of Hawkins to get to the bottom. Still not able to complete the pass, though, as they go down the backstretch. And wow, cuts the nose with the slide job. Ghali hits the back of the 14. And now a little block here as they go through 1 and 2. Ghali did not like that at all, and he let the 14 know it. Almost got back into him going into the entry of 1. Very funny, Drew. Very funny. Losing the nose again. The 45 hits the wall this time, and that's going to be all she wrote. There's the 9 of Holder off the racetrack as well. He loses it down to the bottom. And the ice rink continues as Holder loses about 4 spots on that. Now Farmer to the inside. Golly still ice skating as he exits turn 4. That car looking very loose on the top of that transition. And while that all happened, they got racing side by side. Hawkins pulls out 0.7 of a second. These two have been stout all season long. Golly struggling a little bit more than the rest of this top 3, though. And Hawkins has capitalized on it. Will this be the first time that we've seen the 14 car bring it to victory lane? He's been trying all season long. Still plenty of laps left to do it, though. 73 left as they cross the line. 71 now. And David Farmer can't get around Golly, so he's going to hold on to the second position. Here comes Cofield peeking to the inside. Going on this racetrack. We go back to the 10th position with Michael Kostick, Justin Sorrell. This is for 9th and 10. The 8 car who had some struggles at the start of this race. Looks like Holder on the resurge back to the top 10. And the 24 of Sean Kaster to the outside now as they go into 1. Trying to clear now for the 9th position. He will. Gets around Justin Sorrell. Cofield to the inside of Farmer for 3rd as they come off of turn 2. And a little contact there between the 58 and the 84 as they go into 3. Stretches out to over a second as Hawkins comes off of turn 2. He's not even driving with the mirror anymore. He's just periodically checking those times, looking back maybe at the strategies behind him. Everybody had come down pit road, and the guys that did not were looking at Schwartz right here behind Holder, a car off the racetrack possibly. Not sure who that was. There was smoke down that front straightaway. Looks like it might have been Blake Hensley. Take it back on the instant replay. Hensley having a struggle here. We continue to stay green. 110 laps complete now. Another car off the racetrack. That is Craig Schroeder. So the tire's starting to get too hot, and these guys starting to lose it. Here on lap 111. Comes back up on the racetrack right near the leaders. He's going to hold it down to that bottom line. The lap times have fallen off a full second now from where they began this run. 23.6, the best lap time for GT Hawkins. He's currently running a 24.5 as he comes across the line. It's still 0.2 faster than Yusuf Ghali. There's only one car on this racetrack that's matching that speed, and it's right here. That's the 58 of Jonathan Cofield. He was able to match pace with the 14 of Hawkins, but he has a long way to go if he wants to catch up to him. We're talking about over 2.5 seconds to the lead. Somebody else that's turning up the heat, Eric Hutton, last time by. Very close to those times as well. Hensley off the track again here as they come out of turn 2. And let's watch Hutton work this wheel. You know, we're past the halfway point, so great opportunity. Find that volume knob. Let's bring some noise here on Vspeed for a couple laps. Looks like it hasn't gotten any better for some of these cars. The 15 lost it, the 45 lost it. We were riding on board with him there as that happened. And Yusuf Ghali pretty much out of this race. I think he's done for the day as he comes down pit road. James Silvers loses it and a caution is out. The 25 gets into him. And Silvers to pit road. That's going to bail out Yusuf Ghali. Puts him right back into the hunt when we thought it was all over with. Everyone starts to lose it. We saw the 15, the 45, the 17, everyone just out of control here. Silvers was running in about the 5th position, 3rd position roughly. Snap through. Wow. And then to finish it off. Let's see if we can get it on board here. Nowhere to go for Sean Kaser. And you see looks like the 31 of Hensley was also losing it up here. Multitude of drivers just having some problems here today. And now with another strategy call, the 42 of Anderson is going to stay out with 30 lap old tires here on lap 120 out of 175. Cody Anderson, Bradley Cooper in the Vspeed booth. You got a copy?
Gotcha.
Might have to turn you up a little bit here. Hold on, Cody. All right, Mike, check again on that.
I got you.
All right, so Cody, you stay out here. You got 30 lap older tires, but it seems like passing's been really hard. You maintained the top 10 there on that last time you stayed out. Do you think you can maintain the lead on this restart?
That's honestly, I'm just hoping for another quick caution or maybe a little run and then a caution, come down and get some tires. I'm saving fuel right now if we don't get a caution to see if I can make it to the end, but we're gonna shoot for black and hope it lands black.
Well, here we go with, you know, just about 50 laps remaining when we take the green flag. And I know on the stint here, 31 laps, it's put you right in that gray area where you could make it to the end, but tires have been so important. This track looks like an ice skating rink.
Yeah, it's loose everywhere, no matter how long you wait to get on the throttle. If you're trail braking through the corner, it's just back end wants to come around on you.
Good luck out there, Cody. Maybe we'll get to talk to you post-race. I know you'll be holding on to it, but good luck, man.
Thank you.
It's FRB driver Cody Anderson in the 42. He's going to elect to stay out here. We'll have to catch and see what happens on this restart as we get set for about 50 laps to go when we go back green. The Overtake iRacing League Cup Series live from Iowa. We'll be back here on Vspeed right after this. Green flag is back out at Iowa. Turn one is Cody Anderson. He's trying to hold on to a lot of hard chargers as you see the 14 already diving into the bottom. Hawkins for the point. And that car struggling as we ride through 1 and 2. Down to the bottom here for Shutters and Hutton as they come off of turn 4. The 84 of Farmer and the 58 of Cofield got around. Not able to hold on to the point, and he's still struggling way up the racetrack into the bumps. He loses about 10 positions in 2 laps. Still on the point. 50 laps to go. Will this be the one? Can he finish it out? Remember that bailout there with Yusuf Ghali? He's back at 13th. He's all by himself with some heavy right side damage. And he's just trying to limp this car around the racetrack. Yellow if you're the 45 right now. Take to the inside for second position. Cofield gets the run on the exit because he's able to take it down the back stretch. Scrubs off some of that speed. Farmer takes away the line. Late apex here in the 4. He's going to get another shot as they go into 1. About Yusuf Ghali still back in 13th all by himself. He has 22 seconds to make up. Here is a side-by-side with the 56 of Craig Schroeder, 42 of Cody Anderson. And the yellow flag is out. Yusuf Ghali spins it again. It ends up a lap down here. Just another loose moment here all by himself, but right in front of the lead. Oh, wow, and the 44 of Shutter's nowhere to go. Drops out, and he drove through a few drivers here, so connection issue. iRacing has got to fix this issue, Chad. This is like the 5th time we've seen it here on Vspeed, and it's been day-ending for drivers, and honestly, it's appalling that this is even a problem when a car loses bandwidth and everyone on his screen disappears, but still makes contact based off of his position with other cars. It was never an issue when the simulator started. It shouldn't be an issue today. It was one of those early things. It wasn't a problem, and I don't know why it suddenly became one, but iRacing really needs to get it together. And yes, I will critique this simulator because it is over 15 years old, and it needs to be addressed. It takes out good, talented drivers, and it was of no fault to anyone. The 44 of Shutters did not see that wreck happen. That's why he was able to hit that car, drive right through it, then drive through Hutton and through the leaders. And in my opinion, that is just unacceptable. And even if they're having a bad internet connection, this should not penalize other drivers. With that being said, frustration's starting to sink in, not only for the drivers out on this racetrack, but your commentator of the night. 10 cautions, 8 lead changes. GT Hawkins with less than 30 to go when they take the green flag. So a moment here for me to take another quick commercial break, get my bearings straight. Watching the Overtake iRacing League Cup Series live from Iowa. More continues right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back here live from Iowa, GT Hawkins still in the lead with less than 30 laps to go. We're down to almost 20 laps to go. Side by side here for second position. Here's Farmer and Cofield. Cofield trying to get by on the outside. He almost clears the 84 as they go into 3 and 4. Does it here. He does get around him. And now up to second position in the closing laps. Remember, the 58 car, one of the few drivers that was matching times with Hawkins. Sideways here for Farmer as he comes down to 2. He holds on to him, but now Holder to the outside. And the yellow's out. Yusuf Ghali around again. The 15 of Matt Grenier involved. Six of Schroeder also in the mix there. Man, if you're Michael Cole right now, you're just waiting for this thing to be over with. I think he spun out every one of these incidents tonight. He just wants to find the garage area so he can relax. That brings out our 10th caution officially and our 11th total of the day. I don't know what the thoughts and opinions are of the handling of this car, but I can say with confidence that these guys are struggling and they're not happy with the way it's driving. We've seen a lot of quality racing here in the Overtake iRacing League. The Cup Series has been one of the best at keeping the caution counts low, but here tonight, double digits for the first time this season. And a very slick racing surface here in Iowa. This car is struggling. I don't know what your guys' opinion is in chat, but the quality here tonight, it's been a little bit out of the ordinary. But through the chaos, through all of the days ending, Radburn Shutter, Sean Kaser, James Silvers, Michael Kostick, and West Wiegand are off of the racetrack. We have 15 cars left out on the surface. And for the Cup Series, we still have a lot of racing left to do. We'll take the green flag here. I was saying less than 30. I don't know where my brain was. We'll just be getting to that 30 lap mark. We go back green here. Racing here tonight, it's been difficult, it's been tough. I know that drivers getting hungry for positions. Brandon Holder's found his way up into the top 3 for the first time today. So the 9 car doing it when it matters most. John Schwartz up into the top 5. Cody Anderson is maintaining 5th spot, so he might get a top 5 finish before it's all said and done. Eric Hutton claws his way back up to 6th. Michael Cole in the 67, we were saying just wants this thing to be over with. Well, he's coming down pit road. He might just be taking that early vacation Not entirely sure, but he is coming back down into the pits. Some of these guys going to use their last set of tires for this stint with about 30 to go when we go green. Lights are still on the pace car. This gives us an opportunity. Maybe we can talk to the 9 and Brandon Holder here as he finds himself into the top 3 for the first time today. Brandon Holder, Bradley Cooper from the Vspeed booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, buddy.
Brandon, you're one of the few drivers left out there in Cornerstone, and you found yourself into the top 3 for the first time today. It's been a struggle out there. What's in store for us here for this last 30 laps?
Well, GT's in front of me. He's Cornerstone, but everybody just pit and we're on older tires, so I don't know. It might be fun.
I said one of the few. I know problems for shutters. Was that a connection issue there for the 44?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he said that he was having some connection issues, and then he had ran through the field there. So yeah, that was the issue.
And then we've got the 17 of Silvers who snapped it loose. But I mean, the car's been an ice rink all night, and good luck there. You'll be starting here in P3. You go back green.
Thanks, bud.
Cornerstone Motorsports driver Brandon Holder in the number 9, getting ready to restart here with Hawkins and Farmer on the front row. Ports and Anderson round out the top 5. Eric Hutton trying to claw his way back up to this top 5. Russell Gowley 1 lap down, Blake Hansley 2 laps down, and Rafael Hubi, who is almost back on the lead lap after being 6 down at one point during this race. He's only 2 down now in 15th. Pace car's off. Here we go back green. 30 laps to go. Hawkins on the loud pedal, and we're back live and racing from Iowa. Three wide back here with Sorrell in the middle. The 94 rather of Bobby Hall with some damage on that right front. He cannot pass and falls back outside. Now Hutton, he has lost a couple positions. Back to the bottom. Cofield must have had a mistake. He falls back. Cody Anderson on the outside trying to get into the top 5. Racing back here outside of the top 5, right back at 7, trying to get around Anderson as they come off of turn 4. Sorrell, Hall, there's Hensley in the backdrop there. He's still a lap down. But these guys trying to gain these positions have let Hawkins check out again. The clean air has been so important, and the 14 car able to ride his own line, now 0.6 of a second ahead of the rest of this field. Closing laps upon us with 25 to go. And the yellow's out. Looks like Hensley problems again. It's loose coming out of turn 4. Rafael Hubi nowhere to go. Oh boy. 67 almost found another one. So some cars shoot it down pit road. David Farmer, Hawkins leading this group. Justin Sorrell and Eric Hutton stay out. Bobby Hall also going to stay out. This is a little bit of a gamble here, but if you got the tires, you might as well use them. It's going to be a pretty big advantage of about 19 laps. When it's all said and done, these guys will come back out. Michael Cole also staying out. 45 of Yusuf Ghali trying to get those laps back. He'll be out there. But it's going to be Anderson, Farmer, Cofield, Hawkins. These guys electing to take fuel only, maybe just to make sure they can make it to the end of this race. We'll have about 20 to go when we go back green. Waffle Wolf 1998. I'd like to refer you to the website vspeedsim.com. I'd like to email the co-owner Adam Baker. I tell you, buddy, you'll lose your voice. I promise. We stream on days that end with Y at this point here on Vspeed. Speaking of the schedule, QSR simulations will be starting up next Thursday, so we'll officially be broadcasting all 7 days through the week at certain points. Friday, VRX World Cup will be finishing up their last race of the season, crown their champion, and give away their Thrustmaster T818 racing wheel to the winner. They also have the T248, a shifter on the line as well, Butt Kicker Pro and Gamer Setup, and then a collection of prizes going across the board from Carpe Diem Designs, paying all the way back to 30th position. Then Saturday Night Racing League will be back live. Hope you can catch us for that as well. That'll start at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Then my personal favorite, the Sunoco Cup Series. I say personal favorite. They're the newest ones here on Vspeed. They'll be live and racing from Bristol at 8 p.m. So if you guys can join us for that as well. Eric Hutton, Justin Sorrell, Bobby Hall Jr., Michael Cole, and Jonathan Cofield, the top 5. Some cars with fresh tires behind them. Newest on the stint will be Jonathan Cofield. Looks like he elected to take right sides only, along with Cody Anderson. GT Hawkins, 4-tire stop. He'll be back in 7th. David Farmer, these guys back here all on 4 fresh tires. Some guys coming back down to get some of that damage repaired. But we're going to go back live in racing as we get set to double back up. Eric Hutton will lead them into turn 1. Can he hold on to it? Through a tall order with 20 to go. But we've seen a lot of guys do it, and that clean air has been oh so important. Hutton does have a little bit of cushion back here behind him with the 67 and the 94. So a little opportunity here, and if we get another yellow, it'll even increase those chances of the 87 maybe coming out on top after this abysmal day for some of these drivers. Good recovery here for the 87 as we get set to go back. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that, Orville. I don't know the answer to that, but it's pretty good. That's a pretty good one. Green flag is out. We're back live in racing. 20 to go as they cross the stripe. There's the cushion behind Eric Hutton. Can they hold on long enough? Already a move here by Cofield. He picks up 2 spots. Has the 14 to the inside. Holds it down there. Hutton getting challenged by Bobby Hall now for the lead. And the yellow's out. Michael Cole involved again. 13 cautious, 9 lead changes. It's been a tough one here tonight at Iowa. For all of you that are out there watching right now, it's been something different, out of the ordinary for the Cup Series, but we're here. We're going to get this thing over with. Eric Hutton was able to hold on to the lead. Bobby Hall was trying to clear him into turn 1, did not get the position, and Eric Hutton resumes the lead here when we go back green. Maybe for the final time today, we're going to have only about 10 to go when that green flag comes out. Well, I've given everybody the commentator's curse. I think everybody that I've pulled up into the booth here tonight has had a problem one way or another. Hutton has already had some problems prior to this moment. So I'll ask you out in the chat if you think I should leave him down in his Discord channel, or if we should bring him up here and ask him how the race is going. I'll leave that entirely up to you. If you believe in the commentator's curse, I'm sure you're on the same side as me. I got a little bit of it there Tuesday night. They talked way too much about the 18 car. And ultimately, down the wall there on turn 4. Last lap. So, what do you know? It is a real thing, Chad. It is a real thing. You absolutely can end a guy's day by just talking about him up here in the Vspeed booth. We've seen it time and time again. Thank you for the hearts as well. Appreciate it. Everybody out there in the chat, you guys helped us out tremendously. And again, reminder that we've officially hit that milestone that we've been working so hard towards here on the channel. It's 1,000 subscribers. We never would have imagined that we'd be doing that. So thank you, all of you, for hitting that subscribe button, leaving your notifications on, coming in week after week to watch these broadcasts. It really does boil down to you, the viewer, and you guys as individuals being here for this. So big thanks, and message received. Go ahead and shout it out in chat. Keep hitting the heart button. I don't know if that does anything at all for the algorithms or anything. Honestly, think it's just there, but we'll push the button with you. We'll keep it flowing, and thank you again from everybody here at Vspeed: Adam Baker, Eddie Smith, Morgan Cook, Christian Hill, all the people that do the productions, our commentators, Alec Martinez, who's been with us pretty much from the start. All the way to our newest member, and we got Alex Gagnon. We've got Jacob Reeves doing some work for us now. Justin Prince in there as well. Sundays with Kenneth Buena. Got a lot going on here, chat. A lot going on. But we do have something else more pressing going on this racetrack. Eric Hutton and Bobby Hall have to hold off Jonathan Cofield for this lead. And a hard-charging Hawkins back there as well. But here we go, back live and racing at Iowa for what could be the last restart of the day. The 13 cautions mean nothing. It comes down to this. Eric Hutton on the loud pedal, out of the restart zone. Green flag is out. We're back live and racing. And a little check up there behind Hawkins. Into the inside for the 58 of Cofield. Up to second now. Still side by side. Hawkins trying to clear. Cofield still stuck on the bottom as they go into 3. 3 wide now behind them. All the way up on the outside. Hall trying to hold on to it. Hawkins gets really loose coming off of 4. Loses all that ground. But Bobby Hall playing defense for the 87 of Hutton. We asked if this could be the first race for Hawkins. It's not looking that way. The upset again. The 87 takes it into turn 3 with a sizable lead of about a half a second. Cofield finally able to clear the 94 of Bobby Hall. 3 wide behind them as the 84 of Farmer, the pole sitter, gets by Justin Sorrell, doesn't quite clear him. They're going to stay 3 wide coming out of 2. Brandon Holder has a handful and a mirror full. Sideways for the 14. He's down to the bottom of the racetrack, back up into the surface, and he loops it around. Yellow flag is out. And the upset continues for GT Hawkins. He wins the stage. He leads a ton of laps, 72, but he falls back to 11th. Has some problems trying to clear a car, and down the front stretch. This could be the end for the 14. Wasn't quite clear of Bobby Hall. And how about Rafael Hubi just barely missing him on the outside? More time from the blimp camera. That's not quite clear, the 94 there. Actually gonna go on board here with the 94. Well, it just got even tougher. If you're Eric Hutton right now, you had that sizable lead. You're going to have to get a good restart here. Jump out as far as you can over Jonathan Cofield. Fortunately, you're going to have about 5 or less to go. The other side is we have unlimited green-white checkers here today, and we're right at that 2-hour mark. This race has about an hour left. I don't know how many green-white checkered attempts we want to take at this, but we're going to probably get about a natural one here. I think the race will probably be about 7 to go, maybe 6 to go when we go back green. Not sure if the race stewards are going to join this caution or not. It doesn't look like anybody really coming down pit road. Michael Cole does come down. He's getting some damage repaired. He's 2 laps down. Front end of that machine still missing. Blake Hensley off the racetrack. Yusuf Ghali almost back to the lead lap. Not a lot of that Camry left here on the back end, but the front end still looks good. And the puns continue in the chat. But another opportunity here to remind you to...
Racing isn't easy.
Well, that's the wrong button. We hit too many buttons there. Check out the link here. We're going to pay some bills. We're going to take a quick commercial break here. Overtake iRacing League. I'm no good past the 2-hour mark, so we're going to take another commercial and get our bearings straight. We'll be back right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
back here live from Iowa Speedway. The 87 on the inside of Jonathan Cofield. Pace car pulls off. 5 laps to go. Green flag is out. We're back live and racing into turn 1. A great restart here for Hutton. Off of turn 2. Resurging here. The 9 of Holder hits side by side with Cofield. This might hold him up just enough that Hutton can get these guys racing side by side. He might be able to hold on to it. 4 laps to go as they cross the line. The 58, the 84, really loose, 3 wide into 1. Around. Schwartz hits the 14. And a popped engine for the 48. He's done for the day. And now it's down to a green-white checkered restart. The 48 of Schwartz hits the wall. Hawkins involved, almost loses it. He's able to regain control, but he's only gained 1 spot since this restart. He has to start all over again. There's the 84 getting loose, puts these guys in a 3 wide position into 1. And this is where it all breaks loose. 48 gets really loose, slides up into the 94. Then Sorrell sticks his nose in as the 48 still trying to save it into the inside wall. How did Hawkins keep it off that outside wall? I have no idea. Let's go back and watch it again. $15 cautions here, 14 of them official. The stage break here today, Hawkins was the winner of that, but he's back to 11th. Eric Hutton could be the winner of this race. He's got Cofield, he's got Holder. Saved by Farmer to keep him up in the top 5. Justin Sorrell in 5th. It's really coming down to this moment. This could be the last restart. We're going to have that green-white checker, and the lights will go out on the pace car next time by. The ice skating rink that is Iowa here today. So many mistakes made by very talented drivers. It's end of the day of John Schwartz, Blake Hensley, Radburn Shutters, Sean Kaser, James Silver's out of the race, Michael Kostick, Wes Wiggin. Just so many cars. And Yusuf Ghali struggled. He's back on the lead lap. How about that? With the 45 car finally is able to race for position again. He stuck it out. He got a bailout there on that 1 yellow where he was coming down pit road. He had spun it out on the entrance. He ended up 2 laps down, and he's found his way back up here in 12th position maybe to finish this thing out. But the 2 drivers that are up on the top in points have had up and down days. And I'm talking about the 14 and the 84. The 45 also in that hunt, but he missed a couple races and fell out of the top 10. He had to get back in there with some wins. He'll be going into this reset in points up on the top. I tell you though, it's still not over by any means of the imagination. You've got a lot of potential here. The tracks on the schedule. Let's see if we can bring that up on your screen here. The tracks on the schedule for the Overtake iRacing League Cup Series. Here we sit at Iowa, and then we have Richmond just before the reset. So 2 similar tracks, but Richmond, that could fit right into the wheelhouse of Yusuf Ghali or GT Hawkins, or we could have a new name. bringing it to victory lane, or, well, up in the top of the points going in to Homestead. Would like to see the 14 get a win. I feel like he deserves it at this point. But into Homestead there for the 1.5-mile Speedway. In Miami, Watkins Glen on the schedule as well. Talladega, Darlington, Texas, Kansas, Bristol, Martinsville, and Nashville Super Speedway to finish it all out June 19th. So still plenty of racing left to do. If you thought it was over, if you think it's locked up, we're not even halfway through this season, so we've got a lot left to do. See if we can get it back live. Can we finish this race under green? Does Cofield have anything for Hutton on this restart? Holder, Farmer, Sorrell. Green flag is out. Back live and racing. Almost jumps the start, and the 58 doesn't get it going. Here goes Eric Hutton into turn 1. 2 to go. It down into turn 3. Brandon Holder on the bottom of the racetrack. White flag up in the air. We're going to make it official here as we cross the line. Nobody any problems. Can Hutton hold on to it? Cofield under fire from Farmer for third. Holder finds his way up here into the top 3 to close this thing out. But around the racetrack one last time. Eric Hutton seizes the moment. Eric Hutton is going to be your winner here. Overtake iRacing League's Cup Series at Iowa. Cofield off the racetrack and loses it. Comes across the line in 4th. "29 laps led, and they were the most important ones. The call to stay out with 20-lap older tires pays off, and Eric Hutton is victorious, holding off Brandon Holder, Jonathan Cofield, and David Farmer. Post-race interviews with your top 3. As Eric Hutton burns it down here on the front straightaway. We're going to take that other brief commercial break here. We'll round up those top 3 drivers. You're watching the Overtake iRacing League live on Vspeed. More right after this. Back here live from Iowa, Eric Hutton, Brandon Holder, and David Farmer are able to maintain that top 3. But how about Eric Hutton getting the win here today? Can't believe it myself with that strategy and that call. GT Hawkins wins the stage, dominates this race, but he's not able to finish into the top 3. He falls back to 8th. Final results up on your screen. There it is with Cofield, who spun around coming across the line for 4th. Justin Sorrell gets the top 5 here today. Rafael Hubi, how about that? He was 6 laps down at one point in this race, and the 21 car finishes 6th. Cody Anderson gets 7th. GT Hawkins a top 10, but not what he wanted today. 8th spot there for him. Bobby Hall Jr. falls back to 9th, and Craig Schroeder is going to round out your top 10. Matt Grenier is going to finish 11th. Yusuf Ghali, who got back on the lead lap, didn't have much of a car left. He had to battle several times here today. He'll finish 12th. John Schwartz out of the race here today. He will be 7 laps down. Blake Hensley, 14th out of the race. All the cars from 13th down had an early exit. Michael Cole, Justin Silvers, Radburn Shutters, Sean Kaser, Michael Kostek, and Wes Wiegand to round out that 20-car field. But they're in the staging lane now. Let's go find your third place finisher of the day. It's going to be Dave Farmer in the number 84 machine. Dave Farmer, I tell you, man, you started up on the pole here tonight, but ultimately there was about 1,001 strategies for the skating rink that they called Iowa today. How does it feel just to be done and over with?
That was probably one of the toughest iRacing fix setups I've ever driven. It was tight, or not tight. It was loose on entry, loose on exit. It was awful. It was one of those you're done and you're sweating. You're pouring, like my shirt's wet from sweating.
The car looked like it was on right in on the bottom, that underbody. You guys were skating in, trail braking. You got back to the throttle too soon. It just seemed like any touch to input through the corners and you were around.
Yep, that sums it up pretty much exactly how it felt. Felt awful everywhere.
Well, I mean, it looked okay in clean air. It seemed like whoever was out front was able to maintain, and a 20-lap difference there with some of these guys tonight. I think you were also, I want to ask you, what happened there when you came down pit road? It looked like you drove past the stall and you came back out on the racetrack. Was that planned, or did you make a mistake there?
One of my teammates, Hubie, Javier Hubie, he disconnected on that, the internet dropped or whatever, packet loss, and whenever he came back, he was 7 laps down, and that was the start of getting him back on the lead lap. So me coming down and letting him get around me there allowed him to get a lap back. It was just strictly a team effort thing there. I knew I wasn't going to stop, so I was going to come out and keep the lead, but I wanted to allow him to get his lap back, basically.
We mentioned that in the chat, and I thought maybe I was crazy when I said it, but hey, look at that. I was right about something tonight. I wasn't right about who was going to win this race because we had a lot of lead changes based off strategy. David, you come home on the podium, though, today. You were able to minimize the mistakes, and you had a heck of a save there on the front stretch as well. Is there anybody you'd like to shout out for tonight?
Everybody that helps the league. You guys doing the broadcast, Joseph Finn doing race control, Alex, the co-owner with myself, and Cody being one of the admins. He's great. He does a lot of back end stuff for us that a lot of people would balk at. So it's great to have and all the drivers, just everybody in general. It's just nice to have a good group of guys that we could run around, and with the competitiveness of most of us, there's going to be some hot edge in there, but for the most part, we hold it together and keep a close bond with each other.
Well, outside of that, I know post-race it'll be interesting, and we'll get to talk more about it. But congratulations on the top 3, David, and we look forward to post-race, and maybe we'll see you next week.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, buddy.
Third place finisher of the night here, and that's David Farmer in the 84 machine. Now moving to our second place finisher, Brandon Holder. You found yourself into the top 3 at the end of this race. You really didn't put it up there until the very end, but let's talk a little bit about how it was such a struggle here tonight. Was that part of the reason that car couldn't find its way to the front until the end?
Well, no, that was the driver. I didn't practice any this week and got in 15 minutes before the race and had some issues with VR, so I didn't get very many laps at all at practice. And the setup was kind of difficult to drive as well, so that was all.
I mean, I don't think there's a single driver on this racetrack that would disagree with you about the setup tonight. Well,
yeah, it was
Holder,
pretty rough.
You come out here on second position. You found your way to the top 3 several times this season for a car that, you just had to manhandle and drive. You're able to come out just shy of the win here. Did you think you had anything for Eric if it was a little bit longer green run?
Well, I mean, I had fresher tires, so I was hoping there was a green run there. I don't know. I don't know if Cofield missed a shift going in, but it gave me a clear track there, and I thought that I might get a chance to get up there, but just couldn't make it. So, congrats to him. I mean, we had some problems earlier when Radburn blinked out and went through them. So, if we wanted anyone else to win, we were okay with him winning.
Well, outside of that, congratulations on the second place. Is there anyone out there that you'd like to thank or shout out for the performance?
Yeah, I got to thank Cornerstone, James Silvers and GT and Radburn and Alex for all that he does. That's a great team to be on. GG's, Mountain View Detailing, and Cornerstone and BK Paints for making the paints.
We appreciate your time. And Brendan Holder, I'm sure we'll have you back up here in the Vspeed booth very soon. One of the common occurrences here for the 9-car. Top 3 tonight. Congratulations.
Hey, I appreciate it. Also, I want to thank y'all for the broadcast. It's top notch.
Well, we thank you for that. We, long time coming, man. We're still looking at ways to improve, so appreciate your views and coming back and watching it.
I love that top ticker, by the way.
We got to bring that up then. We'll go with that next week. Brendan Holter, second place finish here tonight at Iowa, and that finally brings us to victory lane. The guy that upset them all, Eric Hutton, the unbelievable. They said you had a whopper of a task and a whopper of a salary here today. Everybody in chat, just with the puns alone, kept me entertained. It was a struggle here tonight, Eric.
Yeah, man, the car was rough to drive, just twitchy everywhere. Not even a good loose. It was nothing like I've driven at Iowa before, but it's just, then I got ran into by someone DCing, so just it's a pretty crazy race, but those cautions saved me at the end.
You said ran into, I think you got driven through. It looked like a battering ram. We saw that at Gateway in the truck series, and we've actually seen it 5 times here. My frustration came out. I don't know about yours, but what's your opinion on that? With iRacing, it's never been a problem up until recently.
Yeah, I've definitely never had that happen to me. I was frustrated for about 2 seconds, and then I saw the message of him lagging out, and so I was like, well, he can't do much there. But yeah, I was checking up for those cars spinning in front, and then I had it all together, and then next thing you know, I'm pointed at the inside wall. Shout out to the next gen, I guess. I really didn't have much damage somehow.
Yeah, thank goodness this car is as robust as it is, because that would have been day ending, 2 years ago. This car would have been toast. But you come back, you rebound from that. You had some self spins. You had pretty much a variety of every scenario that you could be in one race. You had it here tonight, Eric.
Yeah, it was just pretty terrible race, to be honest, from my performance standpoint, and then just got lucky taking my last set of tires early there, so I had no choice but to stay out. And like I said, those cautions just came to the rescue, and when I was low on fuel, and the car actually felt a whole lot better, so that helped too.
Outside of that, Eric, I know you got them out there. They're still going off in the chat, so go ahead and shout them out while you got time.
Yeah, shout out to the boys watching, keeping up the great puns. Hopefully we'll see more next week. Shout out to everybody putting on the league. First season's been fun, and thanks for your broadcast.
Thank you for your time. Eric Hutton, winner here tonight, race number 10, the Overtake iRacing League Cup Series. Capitalizing, it looks like Ritz Racing is starting to bring it back after some of the hiatus there, and you guys rebounding from as we go to Richmond for the last race of the regular season. Good luck, Eric, and we'll see you next time, buddy.
I appreciate it. We'll see you.
Eric Hutton, winner here today at Iowa. That will conclude tonight's broadcast here from Iowa Speedway. If you enjoyed tonight's broadcast, make sure to hit the subscribe button. I know I say that every single week, but it's oh so important to us that you do so. And turn on those notifications so you never miss a single race. We went through the schedule once already. Let's bring it back up on your screen. It's Richmond for the last regular season race. And then we carry on to Homestead for the first race of the playoffs. But for everybody here at Vspeed that made this possible, Adam Baker for all he does in the background and the background graphics. He's actually taken over broadcast on Tuesdays. You can catch him on BTDY on 8:30 there on Tuesday evenings. And for everyone at the Overtake iRacing League that put on the show, Eddie Smith, our other producer, Morgan Cook, Christian Hill, Great guys. They do great work. And for our other commentators, the big collection of those guys, this is Bradley Cooper telling you to have a great rest of your week. We'll see you Friday. Take care, everybody.